We could.
I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I don't want to step on your toes. I think it'd be pretty cool looking down for some shots.
You could do that.
Up to you.
I don't know if I do.
Hi, all. This is Linnea with the training committee. I just want to welcome you all. And I've put the code in the chat to check in through the Digital Cheetah app. And that code, just for reference, is 137396. And if it doesn't work for you, don't worry. I will also be kind of keeping track of who is all on here for credit as well.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you all for joining. I want to introduce Alfred with Ambrosi Cutlery, and he is here to do our training today. Feel free to put any questions in the chat box, and I will make sure to get those answered. Just again, the checking code is in there as well, so check that out too. So I think we are good. We'll turn it over to Alfred.
Without further ado.
Yes.
Hi, Am. We do residential. Wait to start over.
All right, can you hear him now?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're good.
Should I start over?
Maybe a quick recap.
All right, recap. All right, I'm Alfred from Ambrosi Brothers. We've been in business for 60 years in the Kansas City area. We do knife sharpening for around 1,000 plus restaurants, country clubs, nursing homes, hospitals, anything with a kitchen pretty much. We do knife sharpening for. We also do equipment repairs for them. And then we also have knives for sale. We do bakery goods over here. We just have our cameraman follow us. So yeah, we have just a small array of stuff. Right now we're a little low due to this wonderful thing called COVID we all know about. But yeah, knife blocks, just gadgets, cutting boards, cookware. We tend to stay away from a lot of the cheaper low-end things because I don't want to see you guys come back with that. I'd rather come back for more. We do KitchenAid repairs. All of a sudden, we are like the go-to for that kind of stuff. So there's that. We have knife bags. If you guys travel with your knives and you decide you want to do some cooking stuff, we do that. And then small electric gadgets like espresso machines, juicers, and meat slicers for home. We actually have those. And then the knives, of course, which were, here we go. And we do pocket knives for hunters. Or just because everybody wants to carry a pocket knife because they're fun and cool. And everybody needs one. All right, let's move on. This is so much fun. to different types of knives. So we have your standard chef knife, which we use for chopping, mincing. Paring knife, everybody's favorite. Some people use for everything, breaking down small sides of beef, heads of lettuce. Santoku became a very popular knife within the last decade or so. Our carving knife, which is great for carving. Nikiri, which is kind of a spin-off of the Santoku. A little smaller than the cleaver. And then we have bread knife. Everybody knows that one. Boning knife for trimming. Bird's beak, which is a paring knife, peeling knife. Kind of contours with the thumb. Another paring knife. This one's called the sheep's foot. I don't know why. It's a sheep's foot. Steak knife. All-time favorite in our household for everything, including taking down sides of beef. And a sushi knife, which we don't have this at home, but I figured I'd show it because everybody needs one of these at home for sure. And then this cool guy is a ceramic blade. And we do sharpen these. Scissors, everybody needs kitchen scissors. And we do sharpen these items as well. I don't know if I have any other knives to show. We do have block sets. And I'm stammering. Should we go to the back? I guess I'll show you guys some knives and how to sharpen them and different methods to sharpen them. So here's a few of the things that we do, like a small list in our pricing and stuff like that. So it's more than just knives and scissors. We're going to go through a quick run through of. So we have 3 different types of sharpening methods, actually 4, but they're mostly maintenance type things. So we have just your standard metal honing steel, as we call it. You have a ceramic steel, which not a lot of people have these at home. They're mostly using like butcher's outfits and stuff like that, where it's kind of like a really fine edge, and you have to be pretty locked in. I think you use that one. And then we have the diamond steel, which has become really popular over the last probably decade or so. Tends to be a lot more aggressive. Doesn't let you fail. If you do mess up, it's definitely going to let you know. So, and then we have a bench stone, and everybody's got stones. They come in different grits, anything from a 200 up to 8,000. I've seen as high as 8,000. They can either be oil or they can be water. This one's water. You'll pretty much with the water ones, you'll want to soak them, and you put them like in the water and let them sit for a long time, and then you'll kind of find your angle where you kind of lock in, and then your motion is just like you're trying to cut a thin slice out of. And that's your motion. And with a knife like this one came from a customer of ours, and it's really bad, so I'll do it on the big wheel over here. And that guy's pretty cool. Everybody wants to see that thing eventually. But it's just a quick, easy back and forth motion. You'll do the same thing with the chef knife, where you'll go backwards, because I've done this one already on the big wheel. And so it'll pull up this burr edge, and then I'll go across it, and then I'll knock that edge down. And that's that. And so we've got a nice sharp knife. Diamond steels. I won't do it on this one because that one hasn't been used yet. But as far as using a steel, I like to tell a lot of people to just kind of hold it out in front of you like you would a bench stone. And you hold the knife up against it, just kind of like dead weight pressure. And you just want to flick the wrist. That's it. And then the same thing with the underside is a flick of the wrist. And you're just doing like you're trying to cut a thin slice out of the steel. Keep your thumb curved down, because as soon as you push it over the edge like this, you're going to cut yourself. So don't worry about where your thumb is, because for some reason, it won't get you. I can look at you and do this, and I won't cut myself. I do it behind my back, but you won't be able to see it. So it's just nice, easy, slow strokes. Doesn't have to be fast, but you just want to make sure that you're coming all the way down the blade of the knife and the steel. Just nice, easy stuff. And it's not a race. So I've been doing this since I was 8, so it's not really fair. But there we go. And then with these kind of steels, whatever. Same thing. Just nice, easy. Same, no difference. Same stuff. This one feels a little bit sharper. I did cut it, but not much, because it's really dull. I can only do so much magic. So, the big wheel. So this is the guy that we use when people bring in their personal knives to reshape their edges, because normally no one, well, not to say no one, but people don't bring them in enough to get them sharpened, and so they get really like rounded. This is normally what happens to the knives, because people tend to like stay at that angle, and then it just gets steeper and steeper trying to get that sharp edge. So we have to go to this guy to make it to where we reshape it to where you get this instead of that. So I'm going to take a little shower. You might be able to see a little bit of the wire edge that pulled through on that one. But then I'll do this big guy too. So that's pretty much it. Pretty quick. You know what you're doing with this. Let friends try this and it gets pretty bad. So, back to this side. I've already finished all these. I've got a single edge, so it's only got an edge on one side. Obviously, this side's completely flat. I've got a finishing system in the back. I can kind of show you what's going on. But so it's done. It's been across the stone, but I mean it'll cut through, but it kind of tears the paper. I'll show you this other system that we use back here. So this cupping, obviously. I can go across pretty hard. I can go across that really, really hard. Shines that knife up, knocks the barrage off. And so when I do get back to this, it's really easy to just, that's it. I wish I had more. I do scissors. I can do scissors. I don't have any scissors to do because I forgot to grab some. Any questions? I would love questions right now.
What are the most popular knife types?
Most popular
knife types that the most used in the kitchen?
Oh, chef knives and paring knives, for sure. Out of the most of the, if any company makes a small take-home set, you would guarantee you're going to see a chef knife and a paring knife in the set. And those are going to be the two that you're going to probably want to use more often than not. Brands. Brands of knives. We have, there's Wusthof, which is really popular. Henkel's, which is also another really popular line. Global, Shun, and there's a small company that not a lot of people hear about. It's not in a lot of stores, but it's Messermeister, and they don't go to large conglomerate type stores. They seem to stay at a lot of smaller niche kind of places, and we like that line. So yeah, that's another one.
What's your favorite size for Santoku knives?
The Santoku knife? Yeah, so Santoku knives, so they make them in a 7-inch and a 5-inch. It kind of boils down to preference on that one, but I would probably have to say the 7-inch is probably the more popular one. I'm going to turn this obnoxious thing off. We don't need it anymore.
So if you're building a block for your kitchen,
yes,
what are the must-haves other than the chef and the paring?
The must-haves, and I'll just take you guys back up front. Get away from the loud grain. So the must-haves that I feel like should be in most kitchens, and I get this question more than anybody, is probably the chef knife, the paring knife, bread knife, boning knife, and the slicer. That's it. Those are the 5 main things that you really need. Steak knives are cool later on to add to a set. And then if you want to start adding like Santoku, if you have block space, things like that, I would highly recommend going that way.
How is the V-shaped paring knife used? Someone has one, but she has no clue how to use it.
The V-shaped paring knife? I guess it's the Santoku paring. I'm going to guess it's this bird's beak one. So you can use it in the same fashion with you kind of slide across whatever you're cutting. But in most cases, it's meant for paring. So whenever you, even with these kind of paring knives, what they call them, you pull towards yourself, so you're peeling. So if you don't have a peelers came way after knives did. And so this actually kind of contours with your thumb. So when you are peeling, that's pretty much it. And then this little tip here comes in really well for doing like fine garnish stuff if you're into doing rose radishes or, I don't know, cucumber sharks, whatever. People do that stuff.
How do you sharpen serrated knives?
Oh, serrated knives. We actually do those with a buffing system. And so I actually just did mine because all my knives were really, really dull. So I did all mine before you guys showed up because I was embarrassed that I have the dullest knives in town.
What, can you show us an example of the buffing system?
Yeah, we got to go downstairs.
No. Yeah. Testing.
Can you all hear us? Sorry. I don't know what happened to the audio. Why don't you mute yours, Cody? Can you hear us now? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. Where were we? Someone asked, where are you located?
Oh, we're at 3023 Main Street in Kansas City. Do they hear the other questions, Ryan?
Test. Can you hear on the video?
Feedback.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, sorry.
I
Where is your location again?
3023 Main Street, Kansas City.
Yes. I don't have any other questions. Do you have any?
Oh, yeah, you wanted to see the bread knife thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're going to go do that. I'll just use mine again. All right. So we have a cellar. So I can show you something kind of cool. So all these boxes over here are all customers that we do. We have about 3 or 4 drivers out every day. We do about 50 stops each. And we do our radius is pretty much Topeka to Lexington, St. Joe, Harrisonville. And we do a lot of stuff in between. And we've just got more walls of customers to do. So we're pretty busy. We kind of know a lot of restaurants and we deal with a lot of people in this industry. It's really fun. Here's the cellar. These are all boxes of all of our stock knives that we use that we supply for our customers. And then we have real cool stuff like old vintage meat slicers that are from like the World Fair era, things like that. So I'm going to show you how we do our serrated knives. We try not to do them on the big grinding wheel upstairs. We don't really want to mess your knives up.
Hang on a second.
Did we lose them?
What happened?
Signal.
Oh, maybe. I can see it. I can see the video. Sorry, guys. You're dealing with a rookie crew.
Are you good? All right. So we actually made this contraption ourselves. I created this monster. It's just a like smooth compound fiber wheel. We go across this. What we're doing is, in most cases, a lot of the serrated knives will get rolled over. The teeth will get knocked down. And so you kind of end up with a bunch of jagged nicks and just bits of metal rolled over. And so we'll do that on that to where we straighten them all out again. And then we finish them on this guy, which is our buffing wheel. It's almost kind of like a rouge wheel, like what diamond or jewelers use on jewelry, except this thing actually uses a small amount of like really fine grit mixed in with bacon fat, believe it or not. So we just go back and forth on this. And that's it. We're done. And we've got a really nice, sharp bread knife that cuts.
How often do knives need to be sharpened?
We tell people about every 6 months to a year, depending on use. If you can come in before holidays, it seems like right about now through Thanksgiving's a real good time. And then people come in right before summertime because barbecues and things like that start kicking in. Having outdoor gatherings and stuff. So that's a good time to bring them in to get them done.
How far do your clients reach outside the city, or what's your radius?
So as far as our like knife customers or, so our radius is, so we do from Lexington to Topeka, and then St. Joe and Harrisonville. And so we do everything kind of in between. We used to do ship outs all over the United States, but we don't really do much of that anymore. But we're working on a mail order knife sharpening system to where anybody in the United States can mail them to us, and then we'll turn them around.
I think that is all the questions for now. If there's anything else you want to.
Ow, don't play with the knife in your hand. You'll cut yourself. Thanks. Sorry I couldn't be more. Tried to be as entertaining as possible. It was pretty short. I don't know how long I could talk about knives.
It's okay. Sorry you were dealing with the rookie crew too for the videoing. So.
Well.
Hopefully everyone got the check-in code. I've posted it. And I've also gotten a note of who's all joined. So feel free if it doesn't work out for you. But otherwise, thanks so much for joining us. And we will talk to you all later.
Thanks.